In Walmart's Who'Knewville, everyone ready their cart. Amazing Black Friday deals are about to start. Online and in the app, such great deals to explore. Everything you love from tech, toys, and more. The days to save and the ones to remember. It's only the 25th to the 30th of November. Set your alarms. Don't miss out. These deals are epic, without a doubt. The Who's are all ready, but are you? Walmart Black Friday deals await. Who knew?
British Spy Stories Season 5 Kill or Be Killed. Episode 26. As Rose is busy in the basement offices of the chateau, Hans takes the opportunity to walk out to the town and visit the MI6 command centre in the square. He and Gabby sit on the sofas. Tell me what you're thinking about Rose now, Gordon. Are you clear?
Like I said in Paris, I was tempted, but it was a passing thought. You have to believe in your cover life if you want to come across as authentic, don't you? You told me that, Gab. But don't worry, I'm back.
He drinks some coffee.
I wanted to tell you about this new intel on Rose. She has a sister.
And we didn't know. Hans shakes his head. How did that happen?
She only found out last week. But the critical information is that it isn't just her sister. It's her elder sister.
Gabby purses her lips and silently blows air out. So this sister inherits. Who is she?
She's called Clémence Froissart. I had a conversation with Research Branch to find out how we missed it. Their conclusion is that there's been a professional data wipe on her online records. Everything in the name Clémence Froissart was deleted, and she got a new identity.
Which is?
Eleanor Royce.
Gabby turns the corners of her mouth down. Not heard of her, she says. This doesn't affect our op, though. No matter why the sister stopped calling herself Froissart, it's irrelevant to the attack on Seagrass.
Rose says she wants to kill her, to protect her fortune.
I'm sure she does, but it's not our concern. As long as Rose is still going ahead with her attack, we don't care about what's going on elsewhere in her life, or if she kills any more people. There's enough evidence for the police to put her away for years already. When she ends up in prison, her inheritance is meaningless anyway. She drinks a mouthful of coffee. Anything else, Gordon?
When I was talking to the guys in Research Branch, they flagged that Interpol have issued a red notice to all police forces in Europe to arrest Louis Jacobs, the Belgian end of Nox Ventura.
Do we know what for? Says Gabby.
Unspecified. It was issued by a police inspector in Brussels called Emile Dames.
We haven't heard anything on Louis since you tried to find him in Brussels and ended up with Rose. He didn't seem the most dangerous of the Nox Ventura partners, and we've curtailed the activities of the other three.
Thought you'd like to know?
Yes, thank you. I'll call that police inspector when I have some time. Kate appears at the top of the stairs in the room. I thought I had my brother. I'll be arriving for lunch in an hour, Clive.
You're going to enjoy being Margot, I can tell.
Hans leaves the command centre by the side door. He crosses the town square, and as he walks up the driveway to the chateau, from her bedroom window, Rose watches him in the morning light. Laravel has spent her first few hours at her job in the basement of the chateau, stepping through her assigned admin work. But her mind has been planning her first attack on the hacking software that is being written by the coders in the offices around her. Gabby had issued Laravel with an S18 communicator in Paris to allow her to interact with GCHQ from the basement while remaining undetected. The S18 has 3 parts. A personalized microscopic device that sits deep inside the ear canal, molded to only fit each individual. An active contact lens that conveys what she sees to GCHQ, and a USB port strapped to her stomach to convey data. The S18 encrypted connection dynamically jumps every tenth of a second to piggyback on all available networks, whether they be Wi-Fi, satellite, mobile phone or radio frequencies. Sylvie, the girl who had worked in the kitchens, is beside Laravel as they work. In the spy's ear, Gary Pearson, sitting on the third floor of GCHQ in Gloucestershire, sees what she sees on his monitor in the ops room. "I'm going to send you some computer code, Laravel," he says. "Have you got a USB in the port?" She presses microdots on her fingertips to type an affirmative message back to him. "It's downloading," says Gary. In that moment, Sylvie turns to her. "Fancy a break? I need a cigarette." "I just need to finish these records. 10 minutes. Laravel puts her hand on her stomach and slips her fingers under her t-shirt. "You know that guy with the blonde hair over in the main software team?" says Sylvie. "I reckon he fancies me. He keeps looking over as he walks past, and he's always at the photocopier when I am." Laravel looks across and makes a wry smile, then pushes the USB stick into her computer. "He's probably married, though. They're like that, aren't they, married men?" "Tell me about it," says Laravel. Her fingertips spell out, "Next." "Show me the file structure on the network in the basement," he says. Laravel clicks on the information on her machine. "Still, I don't really want a boyfriend. I'm going travelling like you after this job. That's what I'm saving for." "Go to the folder called Index." "What about you?" says Sylvie. "There," says Gary. "Copy it into master.protocol." "Joelle!" Sylvie nearly shouts to get her attention. "What? Yeah, sure," says Laravel. "What do you mean?" Laravel traces back in her memories what she's heard, then says, "Travelling, yeah, cool. Sorry, I'm just in the middle of something." "Now run that file." Laravel hits run on the software. A stream of folders starts to be created in the computer storage structure. "It's creating dummy files. We put a shield application on the file, so it should hide the fact that you're the source of the damage." From around the basement offices, Laravel can hear the level of conversation rising. People starting to realize that something is going wrong. "Let's go for that cigarette," says Laravel, and she stands up. Sylvie does too, and they walk for the exit. They climb the curved stairs to the door with the iris scanner. Laravel bends down to the screen, and the light traces across her eye. The door light stays red. "Try it again," says Sylvie. Laravel repeats it, and the same thing happens. There are sounds of raised voices behind them, at the bottom of the stairs. Sylvie pushes Laravel out of the way and lets the machine scan her eye, and this time the door light goes green. They push through, Laravel suddenly in a hurry. They reach the hallway, planning to take the side corridor that leads to the staff entrance. There's a man in the way. Laravel steps to one side to get around him. Then there's another man behind them. And Laravel feels a hand grip her arm. "This is her, madame." And Rose walks up to them. "Who's paying you?" she says to Laravel. "You are?" Rose smirks. "You tried to damage the computer system. Why?" "I didn't," says Laravel, speaking French. "Did I press something I wasn't supposed to on my keyboard?" Rose's face is a picture of calm, and she turns to the man beside her. "Lock her up somewhere, Stephen." "Yes, madame." Laravel protests, but the man and Rose ignore her as she is dragged away. The gardens of the chateau are bright in the April sunshine. One of the butlers pours a glass of Bollinger Vieille Vin 2002 champagne for Hans as he stands in the lounge. The man leaves and Rose appears within 2 minutes. "We had an incident," she says without preamble. "A young woman tried to damage us."
What happened?
The software engineers said she created multiple dummy files, trying to flood the system.
Did you catch her?
There's an AI program scanning the file structure for errors. The team only put it in 2 days ago. She couldn't have known. She thought she'd get away with it. She won't be on her own, though. There will be others.
Whereas Hans doesn't know the precise infiltration that GCHQ were planning, this sounds to him like their work. What was her name? Says Hans.
Something odd. Duet? No, Jewel. A hippie. Blue hair.
And did you throw her out? Says Hans.
We dealt with her.
Rose's eyes look victorious for a fleeting second that makes Hans uneasy. Rose drinks champagne, and they sit down at the table near the windows.
I'm going to get more security,
says Rose.
A contact of mine can muster considerable numbers very quickly.
Oh, yes. Who's that?
She stops
and looks directly at Hans.
Why do you care, Clive?
Hans's brain swirls around to come up with a watertight response. Because we're in this together, my darling. If you're worried about something, I am too. If this girl could have ruined our plans to live a life of unnecessary consumption in the future, then I care about that. There's a moment when she continues to gaze at him. Then she smiles.
I know you do, Clive.
When will they arrive, these extra security guards? He says.
As soon as I can get them. Tomorrow, the day after. It can't be any more than that, as we're getting near to being ready to go live.
From across the hallway, the sound of a V8 engine roars on the driveway as it runs up towards the house. That sounds like my sister's car, he says. Kate stops her Mercedes on the gravel and steps out in a Stella McCartney bespoke suit and Chanel sunglasses. One of the staff comes running out to help her and directs her inside. Kate saunters into the hallway, just as Hans arrives from the lounge to greet her.
Darling,
she calls across to him, and they meet halfway to hug as a show.
You're always there for me, Clive.
Come and have lunch, he says. Behind them, a butler carries in Kate's Romoa matching hand luggage. This is my sister, Monica, he says to Rose in the lounge.
Pleased to meet you, mademoiselle,
says Kate.
Are you looking after my dear brother? Naturally.
Rose hands Kate a glass of champagne, and she knocks it back in one. During lunch, Kate drinks a whole bottle of the champagne to herself. If it wasn't for the YS14 tablets that she'd taken back in the command centre, she would really be drunk. But the YS14 tablets destroy the alcohol in the stomach before it reaches the bloodstream, making her totally sober, but pretending to be worse for wear.
Rose,
she slurs slightly.
What do you see in my Clive? Handsome, good in bed. He's got no money, you know, in case you thought he's a soft touch.
The other two look suitably uncomfortable and don't talk.
We lost all our money. Daddy spent it on his women after Mummy died. What's your father like?
Kate sways slightly in the seat.
An idiot, in fact,
says Rose calmly.
Bloody men, eh?
Kate drinks more champagne. There's a pause as Rose and Hans exchange glances. Then Kate continues.
Don't trust this one, though.
She points at Hans.
He's got a long string of ex-girlfriends who hated him.
Margot, shut up.
If you two are going to get married, she needs to know all about you, Clive.
I'm sorry, Rose, he says. She makes a dismissive hand movement. Margot, let's go and have a look at your room upstairs. Hans stands and he and Kate make a big play of trying to get her to stand up too. Rose eventually goes to help, and they each take an arm of the fake drunk.
You're beautiful up close, Rosie.
Kate leers into her face.
Have you had work done?
Look, Margot, that's enough.
Kate stumbles and crashes to the floor, then laughs uncontrollably on the Axminster. They manage to get her to stand again, and the three of them slowly move towards the doorway of the room. As she passes a side table, Kate sees a letter opener and makes a huge lunge for it. Her fingers curl around the handle as she puts it to Rose's throat. "Been under the knife, Rosie?" Hans tries to wrestle the knife from Kate's hand, and it slips in the air and slashes Rose's forearm. Blood starts to spurt out. "Get this fucking woman away from me!" shouts Rose. Kate falls away to the ground, and Hans grabs the linen napkins from the table and tries to stem the bleeding from Rose's arm. A butler and a maid have heard the kerfuffle and run in. The maid goes to get medical supplies, and the butler and Hans help Rose to sit in a chair and raise her arm in the air. The maid reappears with a medical box, and the two staff members wrap the wound. Unseen by everyone, Hans and Kate escape to the hallway, then upstairs to the room allocated for her in the chateau. "Was it too much?" she says, as the bedroom door closes. "It was fine. It'll make her a bit more wary, especially after Laravel's attempt to damage the system." "I heard Jenny got stopped, and London lost her on comms. Do you know where she is?" "No," says Hans. "GCHQ are monitoring it. My guess is she's somewhere in the house." "I can help look for her later," says Kate. "I'd better get back downstairs." Rose declines calling a doctor, despite the deep slice in her skin. The staff and Hans take her up to her room and make her as comfortable as they can. Rose's phone is next to the bed, and she picks it up, dials a number, then holds the device to her ear. "It's Rose," she says. She listens. "How are you? I heard you were in an accident." She looks at the patterns on her wallpaper as she takes in what is being said down the line. "It sounds serious. Are you fit enough to provide security team for me at the chateau? I know you always travel with your men." The caller talks. "Good," she says. "I need 30 armed guards, proper fighters, special forces types. This can't go wrong." She listens to the response. "Can you be here tomorrow? Or the day after? It's urgent." She looks expectant. 2 days then. Bring them here to the chateau. I'll see you then." They end the call. And in the Lardov private hospital, Antoine Lambert makes another call to arrange all of the details for his trip to the Chateau Froissart.